Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It's Monday, the 5th of May, and if you watched my previous video from Saturday, you would have known that Harry has had the absolute massive tantrums of tantrums, thrown his toys out of the pram while being hypocritical himself. Well, it turns out he's not alone in that matter, because Meghan Markle is doing exactly the same. I swear these two really do deserve each other. They have behaved so atrociously over the last 5 years that the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And I believe, and it's been chattering over the last couple of days since Harry did his bombshell BBC interview, that the royal family have had enough. Not content with dragging out his family on Oprah, on podcasts, on his memoir or in his memoir, Harry, like I said, on Saturday went full pelt in his interview that aired on Friday, and yet again has accused his family of some atrocious things, even to the point he's actually said that the royal family have intervened in other countries, handing out security for Harry and Meghan. I mean, that's a pretty big claim. If you actually watch Harry's interview all the way through, he kind of flip-flops between looking like he's going to cry and fuming so much that his head's going to explode. Honest to God, he flip-flops from looking like he is the man scorned and he's about to scorch the earth to a big baby that's had his bottle removed. But this is complete odds of what Meghan said recently on a podcast. She sat down with Jamie Kern-Lima, and that was her first podcast, and apparently they're Bezzy mates, and they've been Bezzy mates for a while now. I wonder why that would be. Could it be because they have something in common? And I know a lot of people are now talking about this, but I tend to agree with everybody. The fact is, Jamie Kern-Lima was very vocal and very public about using a surrogate. Could something be kindred spirits between her and Meghan? You got to ask the question, haven't you? Anyway, I digress. I just thought I'd crowbar that one in. Anyway, this is what Meghan said. She said, I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers. She's talking about her marriage here. You know, she's prattling on. When you get to the final level and they go slay the dragon, save the princess, I'm like, that's my husband. The ego on this one is off the scale. Bear with me because there is a reason why I am talking about this. She continues, there is something that is not something to be taken for granted when you have a partner, a spouse, who's so behind you. That man loves me so much. Look at what we've built. We have a beautiful life. We have 2 healthy, beautiful children. He's constantly going to do whatever he can to make sure that our family is safe and protected, and we're uplifted and still make time for date nights. And there's my point. This was a calculated move on Meghan's part, because she knew that by the time that this podcast with her Bezzy friend was going to air, at some time around that stage, that we would have a judgment from this appeal case. And by saying that, it seems extremely calculated, because she's saying, hey, whatever outcome, he'll do anything for us, anything. Well, the fact is, Meghan, you may have laughed and cried on this podcast and waxed lyrical about how much the man loves you and H loves you so much, yet because you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist and you're codependent on that narcissist, it just fits every single red flag. This is a part of a narcissist cycle where they degrade you, they then hoover you back up, they love bomb you, and then devalue again, and it all starts over. This in itself is a perfect example of Meghan Markle hoovering Prince Harry up. But it is at complete odds of how Harry acted, spoke, his body language, everything during that BBC interview showed what a broken, bitter man he has become. That in itself is not the actions of a happy, healthy man. He is broken beyond belief, and it is entirely his own and his wife's doing. His head is so manipulated and so deluded that he sees shadows everywhere. That is not a healthy mind in a healthy relationship. Yet Meghan, on the other hand, is literally going around going, oh my God, we've got the best life, we've built this, gosh, isn't it amazing? Yet we have a husband sitting down, speaking to the BBC, absolutely broken, bouncing between sheer anger and almost crying. Now, part of this interview with the BBC, Prince Harry told them that he wants to reconciliate with his family and that his father doesn't speak to him anymore. Yet we have Meghan Markle doing exactly the same thing to Thomas Markle. Her father, yeah, he did some crappy things, but ultimately, did he do as much as Prince Harry is claiming that the royal family did? It doesn't sit right with me that we've got Harry sitting on the BBC going, my father won't speak to me anymore, I want a reconciliation with him, and I want to do this, and they're the bad people, and I've said so many bad things about them, but I also forgive them. Honestly, Harry, they need to forgive you, first of all, before any reconciliation can happen, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. But can you see where I'm coming from? You've got Harry saying the royal family did this, and this, and I want to put the past behind us, and I want to see them. I don't know how long my father has left, which I think was the worst thing that Harry could have possibly said. But there we have Thomas Markle never seeing his grandchildren. So we have two people in a relationship that are not speaking to a parent. Harry is not speaking to his father, or his father is not speaking to him. And Meghan is not speaking to her father. And yet they think that other people are the problem, when in fact it is they themselves that are spiralling out of control. And I say that they're spiralling out of control because Meghan Markle now has a way to clap back, and that is her Instagram account. It is so obvious at what she is doing, and it is a classic example. You can see every time there's a little bit of negative news, and I grant you this isn't just a little bit of negative news for the BBC interview, it is a massive tidal wave of negative news. What does she go and do? What is her go-to thing? They're her get out of jail, everything's fine and rosy. Well, she puts up pictures of the children, doesn't she? And that's exactly what she's done. Not just puts up a picture of the children, she's put up a picture, black and white, of the children, and of course Prince Harry, the doting father. Now, interestingly enough, she normally puts some kind of flowery or gushing comment to go with the picture. There was no comment whatsoever. It's just Harry, allegedly, Lilibet, allegedly, Archie, allegedly, hand in hand. The young girl is on Harry's shoulders and Archie's taking his alleged father's hand. But again, she's being canny because she's put it in black and white, because there's been so much chatter with regards to Lilibet's hair. It keeps going lighter, it keeps going darker, and there's a lot of speculation. She's a very canny individual when it comes to fueling things on the internet, which is kind of ironic, seeing as that both her and Harry have been so outspoken with regards to the toxicity of social media. Yet she's quite happily using her children, although not, I say her children, while I'm actually saying that, I'm using the quotation marks with my fingers, as you would do when you are kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of element. But she is abusing the power, and she's literally clapping back at all the media and all the negative things that are being said on social media about what Harry has done and the grenade that he has thrown yet again into his family. And she's gone, stuck her two fingers up and gone, that's a big F you to the royal family. Literally just a few hours after Meghan Markle put that on Instagram, a royal insider told the Daily Mail, well, that's a rather giant FU, isn't it? Not just to the royal family, but to the British people and the British press as well. That's what it's implying. We're happy, go sod yourselves. But quite frankly, Meghan, I'm not buying it, because your husband looked like a broken man on Friday. Today, we are celebrating the start of the 80th celebrations for VE Day. And today, the royal family, all of them, have been out in absolute force celebrating the start of the VE Day celebrations. And they are going to be in front of Buckingham Palace. Members of the royal family are going to be expected to make an appearance on Buckingham Palace balcony to watch the RAF fly past at the start of the VE Day celebrations. London is looking patriotic. It is beautiful, and the royal family will be out in force, and as they should well be. But I find it really, really vindictive and spiteful that we are celebrating 80 years since VE Day. We're celebrating it. The royal family are out in force, looking absolutely stunning, patriotic, showing respect to the veterans. Yet the BBC coverage, the little whiny little BBCs, are still talking about Prince Harry and his interview and how that has overshadowed this for the royal family. And it's annoyed me so much because Harry would have been thoroughly aware of what was happening, because he is a veteran and he has shown no respect with regards to what is going on and what we are celebrating. I find it vindictive and spiteful and petty. The fact that his family are out showing respect, yet the way that he shows respect is to lob grenades towards his family, yet again at this particular time. But isn't it sad that this is all hanging over them? What tricks will Harry and or Meghan pull to try and claw back the limelight over the next couple of days with regards to the royal family, especially today? Will there be another Instagram post to try and drag those headlines away from the family? Because ultimately, this is exactly what it is. Harry and Meghan are spiralling. They know that King Charles is 76. There is a reason why Harry mentioned that he doesn't know how long his father has left. That is playing on his mind. Because what happens when William and Catherine take the throne? I firmly believe that they are going to take a no-nonsense approach. And I firmly believe that Harry and Meghan will be dirt on their shoes, quite literally. And a lot of people are speculating that when William is on the throne, that there will be no nonsense when it comes to his brother and his wife. And Harry and Meghan know this, and this is why they're spiralling. Once William and Catherine are on the throne, the jig's up, I'm afraid. The jig is up, in my humble opinion. Because after Harry's BBC interview, a lot more people are now saying, strip them of their titles. I know it's not that easy. I am fully aware of that. And it's basically just people hitting back in the only way that they know that would matter the most, especially to Meghan. If her titles were stripped and she's just Mrs. Mountbatten Windsor, and not Sussex, or the Duchess. The fact that she used HRH in a private note to her friend shows you that the titles mean everything to her. They also know that once William is on the throne, everything's going to change. Everything that they know about the royal family, that they hold dear about the royal family, that they cling on to those titles, because Meghan Markle, she loves them titles, doesn't she? Everything will change. The fact that she's using her children as a tool for manipulation is just the start of it. Mark my words. So, is Harry a broken man, or is this all part of a victim narrative to try and gaslight everybody into making him seem like the eternal, perpetual victim that he likes to play? What on earth is Meghan Markle up to? Yet again, clapping back and using those children in an Instagram post to try and manipulate the situation. We have two very big manipulators working in tandem to try and gaslight everybody into thinking that they're in the right and everybody else is in the wrong. Is Harry a broken man? Is Meghan Markle spiralling out of control? As always, I would love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.